Hey, Ben, the SAS CFO here with a quick introduction to my SAS financial plan. I'll walk through some of the major tabs that make up this forecast model. First, let's start with the revenue and bookings tabs. So I have two tabs for revenue input. Two tabs because you may have two different products, or maybe you have one product that you sell to SMB and enterprise with very different price points where it wouldn't make sense to aggregate the ARR customer counts onto one tab. If you have more than two products, you can simply duplicate one of these tabs, which then you would link to the revenue summary. So the revenue summary, as it states, is the summary of the revenue tab. So bookings, revenue, customers, cash flow, etc. So if you have more than two products, you'd simply duplicate one of these tabs and make sure you link up to the next expansion slot. This is done because the summary tab, which is the P&L tab, pulls from all the totals from the revenue summary tab for bookings and revenue data. This is so you don't have to relink the summary tab. So the summary tab really shouldn't have to be changed for the most part. Next, let's go to headcount. So headcount, obviously a big expense for a software company. So here it's laid out like a roster. So you have the department where you need to select the correct department for that employee. This is really important so your gross margin and OpEx is correct. So you can put an employee name, title, full-time, part-time, number of positions, and you can put two or more positions here if they have the same characteristics, so same wage, start date, etc. In this case, I have part-time, and if it's a part-time employee, you'd want to enter their hourly wage and the number of hours that they're working per month, say 45 hours. The benefits that they're receiving, so this could be medical, dental, etc. So per employee per month. And this is calculated out then to the right side here where we calculate wages and taxes, physicals, and FTEs. The next major tab is the non-wage input tab. So as it suggests, this is non-wage expenses, so operating expenses. It's laid out by department. So here we're starting with the cost of ops. So for example, if you're forecasting hosting, which would be a common gross margin expense, in this case it's saying fixed, but it's probably going to scale based on customers. So you can easily modify these formulas if you'd like to scale up by customers, for example. I also have different formula types in here, so it's easy to get your expenses spread over the correct forecast horizon. So for example, the spread amount will take the amount you enter here, $400, and spread it over or between these two dates based on the number of days per month. Whereas the spread evenly formula will take 400 and forecast it from Jan 1 of 15 to December 31, 2020. So you're not individually inputting all these. I also have repeat annually, end to end of quarter. So a couple different formulas that can be copied from row to row to help you with the forecast. Once you've entered all your expenses by department, by month, this then flows back into that summary tab. But first, before we go back there, let's look at the controls tab. This sets the start date of your model. So a couple key global assumptions on this tab to enter. Company name, tax rate if you want to forecast some cash expenses. Your WACC, which will go into the free cash flows in the LTV formula. Cash balance, and the percent for sales and marketing dedicated to new business. So your cost of new ARR is correct. In R&D, this is most likely going to be 100% if you're not capitalizing software. I also have some SAS Metrics tabs here in this dark blue or purple. So in this case, cost of ARR, it's laying out all the steps to calculate the cost of ARR for both new and existing business. And I have some graphs down here. And I also have some gray benchmark lines in here, which compare to the KeyBank Capital Markets 2017 SAS survey. So these will flow into some of the charts on the SAS Metrics tabs. And if you have different goals for some of these SAS metrics, you can simply enter it into the yellow inputs there, and it'll flow into the charts. And lastly is the summary tab. And this is your traditional software P&L, where you have bookings at the top, tracking your executed software bookings, nothing to do with revenue recognition, of course. Then down here, starting with total revenue, which is your amortized revenue, cost of operations, support services, customer cost of ops, which make up a gross profit line. And then your OPEX, R&D, sales and marketing, G&A for total OPEX. And then, of course, EBIT, taxes down to net income if you take it that far. And then a couple of key things tracking down here, the split between employee and non-employee, wages, taxes, travel expenses. These are good QA checks for your forecast model just to make sure things are trending correctly in your forecast. So that's a quick review of the SAS financial plan. For more information, you can check out the SaaSCFO.com and also download the SAS financial plan on my site. Thanks.